Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey. So, I pray that you all had a great day today. If not, tomorrow's going to be a better day. And if you did have a great day today and everything was cool with you, then good for you. So, y'all, I am a little late today. I apologize. I'm getting back started with getting to know him, and then here I go. I'm late again. I ain't trying to be. But today, the world, many people celebrated Martin Luther King today. You know, celebrate King's Holiday, which was like so awesome. And so, when I was just thinking about, Martin Luther King, how they celebrate, what he did, like the civil rights movement, where he was ready to like equality for all men, black men, white men, no matter what race you are, doesn't matter what your. Hey everybody, hey Kirby. First of all, if I don't speak to anybody, forgive me. That's because I got to stay focused. Because if I start reading comments, then child, I might get sidetracked. So, what were we? Oh, back to Martin Luther King. Oh, my special cousin Sylvia. I'm back, Sylvia. I just had to say that. Let me get on by my business. So, we take Martin. Hey, Greg. What's up, classmate? What's up, boo? All right, so check this out, y'all. Hey, Miss Nicole. Hey, Sylvia. So, I know it's rude.
Which one?
I didn't say call Sylvia. So, anyway, let's check this out. So, hey, everybody that's on here. Okay. You're so crazy. All right, so here goes. So we take with Martin Luther King. Like I said, a civil rights activist. He was a preacher, which means that he preached and ministered the word of God. And at the same time, he dealt with, hey, Miss Mary Jean, he also dealt with like what was going on around the world today. And so Martin Luther King stood up. He knew that how black people were being treated by white people. He wanted everybody to be equal, because we're all human in the sight of God. Like, he just saw the injustice. But not only was it Martin Luther King, you had Rosa Parks, that she stood up for her right. Like, you ain't finna make me get up out this seat because this is where I want to sit. So you have a lot of people. Thurgood Marshall. There's a lot of people. This ain't Black History. I got to finish doing this for him. So, but when I was looking at Martin Luther King today, somebody had my pastor had posted a picture where he was standing in front of the statue of Martin Luther King, and God said hidden figures, which mean that hidden figures, grave hidden figures. Like, as long as Martin Luther King was on this earth, as long as he was proclaiming the gospel, as long as he was tending to about equal justice for everybody, black men, white men, everything. As long as he was marching, as long as he was doing everything that he thought what was right within his heart, without hurting anybody else, that people didn't like it. They hated his name. They hated Martin Luther King. They hated him so much that they had him killed. But once Martin Luther King was dead in the grave, his name became great around the world, around the nation. But long as he was still alive, long as he was still walking, oh, he's a troublemaker. Oh, he's a traitor. It was always something that was spoken bad about Martin Luther King. But it also was something good. But it did not come to forefront. It was not laid out before the world until he was dead and gone. That is a hidden figure that was in the grave. And I said, okay, God. So this what leads me to encourage you. There is some great in you. When you stand up for what you believe, like you got to be a crazy person to say, hey, I'm just going to be an evil person. I'm going to stand up and just be evil. Literally, I just don't think a person can do that unless you just absolutely evil. You Satan himself. Other than that, you're not going to do it. There is something great in you. What I love about God, hallelujah, God, hallelujah. The internet, you got social media, you have internet marketing where you meet people. that your name and what you stand for, which is right, will become great right now here in the earth. Right now, you hear about a lot of preachers, a lot of leaders, a lot of people that's politicians. Take President Barack Obama. Take Kamala Harris. You know, super cool lady, vice president, and they have made their mark in the world before the world to see, and everybody's talking about them. Everybody got something to say about them, and a lot of it, is some good and some bad. But the thing is about it, they are allowing their voice to be heard, and they are doing what they believe in. The same thing with you. You might not be a person that's in politics. You might not be a person like a famous person, but you are somebody. There is something great about you that the world needs to see. I want to encourage you to not allow your legacy to be in the grave where people talk about it when you're in the grave. Allow your legacy right now while you still have blood in your vein. You're still above ground. Allow the world to know who you are. Not for foolishness, but for the good of the people. Because you remember now, each and every one of us are servants. Every last one of us. President Trump, he's a servant. Joe Biden, he's a servant. Your pastor, he's a servant. The cafeteria worker, they are servants. The custodians, they are servants. But they doing the best in whatever shoes that they walking in. They are the best, and they impacting the world. You can do the same thing too. You can impact the world. We go all the way back to the Bible. Let's start with Jacob. I had to write this down. Jacob, his name wasn't great until he got what we know about Jacob now. Jacob is formerly Israel, the father. Abraham was the father of the nation. And God told Abraham, I got a promise for you. He said, I'm going to make your name great. You are going to be the father of many nations. And of course, Abraham like, how is this? I don't have any children. But it happened. It didn't happen in Abraham era of his name being great, being the fathers of many nations. It didn't particularly happen with Abraham, but it happened with his seed. It happened with his son Isaac. It didn't become great with Isaac. It became great with Jacob, his son. We all hear about Jacob. Jacob name, God turned his name and made his name Israel. The children of Israel, the Israelites, what we talk about right now. So it was a promise to Abraham, but it didn't fall on him. Then it went to Isaac, but it didn't fall on Isaac, but it fell on Jacob. The same thing with you. There was something spoken great, probably by your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather. It might have missed your grandmother, but now it's on you. It might have missed your mother, but now it's on you. What I love about who God is, even if it's not on you, even if you know that, like, I know I'm supposed to be impacting the world, but it's not working with me, honey, it might fall on your children. But yet and still, you have a responsibility. The responsibility is that what God has spoken in your life, what he has showed you, okay, but I know God's showing me this, but I'm not this yet. It might not happen with you. It might happen with your children. But you are held responsible. It might happen with your niece or your nephew. But you are held responsible as that person to let them see the great in you. Because look. We all are a story. Everybody has a story. If you still living, you are still a story. You are still a subject somewhere in somebody's house. Even if it's on the job. Even if in the restroom, in a restaurant. You are a subject of somebody. So if you're going to be a subject to somebody going to talk about you, let them talk about the good things about you, not anything negative. So you sow and see because you are impacting the world. Don't allow your legacy, don't allow you to be spoken from the grave. Because y'all do know when people die, oh, they was so nice, oh, they was this, oh, they was that. When a person is dead, everybody got something good to say why they did. Y'all know this crazy. So if they gonna say something good while you there, get them something to talk about. Because y'all do know, like some of the people they put in the grave, they used to talk all that good stuff and they what really was true. But anyway, hidden figures from the grave. Don't let that be you. 2021, there are visions and dreams and stuff that God has spoken in you, that God has shown you. Even if you don't see it come to pass, act like it has come to pass. Act like it. Just, what they say, fake it till you make it. Don't fake it, but just act like it. So, we go back with Jacob. Jacob, from the very beginning, in his mother's womb, he and Esau was there. Listen, here go. So, you take Jacob and Esau. They stand up in the wombs and they're fighting. And Rebecca said, you know, what's going on? It's a war in my womb. He said, well, you got two nations that's growing inside of you. So she had already told him that Esau would serve Jacob. Although Esau came out first, although Jacob came out first, it still was purpose. It was purpose for Jacob to be the father of Israel. It was purpose. And even though it was a fight, he had to go through something in the womb to get his position. Let's go with Moses. Moses was forcefully abandoned. We hear about Moses right now. We hear about how Moses had led the tribe of Israel, how he had led the children from Egypt to a land flowing with milk and honey, what God had for his people. Forcefully abandoned, yet and still, he was taken away from his mother and father. Where basically he was given away, but he was taken away, and he was forced to be with the Egyptians. But guess what? When Moses got over there among the Egyptians, he learned of their ways. It never took away from him as being a Hebrew. It never took away from God had a purpose to lead his children out of bondage. Let's take Esther. Esther was an orphan. She didn't have a mother and father. Her uncle took care of her. But guess what? She had purpose, even as an orphan. People think that because you in an orphan, a person's an orphan, like they don't have purpose. You have purpose. Because if you are an orphan or somebody who is an orphan, you encourage, they have purpose. The purpose is that everything that we go through is training ground. Training ground. Let's go with Ruth. Ruth was a foreigner. So Ruth was like in an unknown land, like, I should go back and I could have stayed with my people. But no, she was willing to follow Naomi because there was something great in Naomi. She's like, I'm going to follow it. So her purpose as a foreigner, you've been among these people that you don't know. She once was among her people, the Moabites, that worship other gods. But when she went over to with Naomi amongst her people, she became blessed. Let's take Job. Job was forced into being a man with no more children. He was forced into poverty. He was forced into sickness. Yet and still, in the grave, the Old Testament, even now, we learn about who Job is. The adversity that he went through, hidden from the grave. Let's take David. David was a shepherd. David didn't look like his other brothers. When God told Samuel, I need you to go and anoint one of Jesse's sons. So when Samuel got there, he looked at him like, oh, he look good. Oh, he's handsome. Oh, he this. Oh, he that. I'm sure this is who God wanted to anoint. And God was like, no, don't look at their statue. Don't look like what man see and say, I want to anoint them. He told him, no, that's not him. No, that's not him. No, that's not him. The same thing with us. As people, we look at people who we feel like who should be the president, or we feel like who should be this, or who should be that. They ain't got no right to minister the word of God. Even with me, they say it about me. I don't care though. I'm just saying, like, what man sees, God sees different. Do you feel what I'm saying? Okay. Like, God is so cool. God looks at the heart. Man look at who you are. What you have done, what you have been through, that don't mean nothing. Grave hidden figures. Don't allow you, the great in you, the best in you, to go to the grave where people only talk about it when you're dead and gone. Let them talk about why you're here. There is something so great, and it was a great in each and every one of these people. But long as they was alive, you didn't hear to talk about them. But once they was dead in the grave, you heard to talk about them. We're walking into a new era. We are now into a new year. But guess what? Even though everything is something new, you know, the past, the future, the past, the present, and future, one thing about God, he is forever. Today, yesterday, the past, the future, which means God is still God. Which means what he spoke on the lives of others, he spoke the same thing on us. God does not change. He did not change. God loved us so much that he allowed his son Jesus, the perfect, only perfect man that came here on this earth, right? And the reason why God allowed him to come on here, because he know we can be a little filthy. We can be like a little sinful. You know, we can be like rebellious. But what I love about God, he loves us so much that he allowed his son, his seed, to leave heaven, from the throne of heaven, to come down here to earth for you and I. Don't let that be in vain. Come on, don't let that be in vain. You are great. You are great. Think about it. Even before Jesus was even brought, even before Jesus even came out of his mother's womb, it was a fight about him. King Herod heard about, you said, you mean to tell me somebody finna come to this earth? You mean to tell me a baby, a child? Oh no, this is not finna happen. King Herod had already sought out to kill him. He wanted to kill Jesus. He wanted to make sure that Jesus that his name was not great, that he allowed him to kill all the male sons of the Israelites. Kill them all. If they under the age of 2, kill each and every one of them. Kill them. Because I don't know who he is, but I know he's here. That's the same thing with you. The enemy has sought out to kill you. If you read Revelation 12, it tells you that the enemy is after the seed of Jesus. The enemy is out of the seed of God. Which are you? Which is you? You are the seed. When you was born into this world, God thought about you before you even came. Jeremiah 1 talks about, before I knew you, I had already sanctified you. I have already put my hand of protection on you. I already knew who you are and what you was going to be. So the enemy sought to kill you. He sought to kill you, but he can't. The reason why he can't kill you is because God won't allow it. Although adversity and all this other stuff come up on you, you got to remember the people in the Bible. Remember the people that have died and gone on, and you're hearing about them now. Allow your name to be great here on this earth. Allow everything that God wants for you to come forth in this season. Even if you're not the great name, it's okay. You be great before your children, before your nieces, before your nephew. You be great before your coworker, and you let your name go throughout the world, and they mimic you and say, hey, there was something great about him, great about her. Because think about it. We are the hand, the feet, the mouthpieces of God, of Jesus, the only thing that some people might see. So I want to encourage you to be that best you can be. I have to shorten this video because my iPad about to cut off, but I just want to encourage you. Hidden figures from the grave. When people talk about you, let them talk about you now. Let them talk about the good about you. And just know that you are great. You are great. You are amazing. Y'all have an amazing day. And I'm going to end this video because if I don't know what's going to happen because my iPad finna cut off. But I love you all. And thanks for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.